Hi Randall, I just want to make sure I'm looking at the same thing here. It was the Nevo slider, and when you made an update it didn't take. Now, it worked for me, the Nevo slider. Let me just recheck your ticket here. Yep, so you said the Nevo slider, so we'll go Library, and we're looking at the component Nevo slider folder, Nevo slider LBI. Now what I did is I just changed the date from 1893 to 1892, so we'll take a look at the page here for a second. I'm just going to refresh. And as you see, the date is 1892 right here. Let's change that again. Let's go with 1890. Let's go back to 1893. I'm going to save. This is what pops up. Tells me the pages it's updating. I'll hit update. Should take about a second a page, so I'll just let it run through there. I'll put it on pause for a second while it does this. Okay, so it's telling me it was 76 pages updated. Cool. Not that it's embedded in all pages, but let's go back to the index page here, and we're first going to go to the code. And 1893 there, so it did update in the index page, and if I go back here and refresh, it should tell me that 1893. We had 1892, we changed it to 1893, and it updated. So cool. Now, what's probably happening on your end is, because I can't find any errors with the product or the template, so you haven't broke anything, but Dreamweaver itself has probably corrupted the cache. It does this, it's a known issue with Dreamweaver. When you first define a new site, in Dreamweaver, it creates a cache file. Now, because I downloaded your site and I defined a new site in order to open it up in Dreamweaver and test it, I had to define your site as a new site, and Dreamweaver created a fresh cache of the site for me. So it's not going to corrupt it right off, but sometimes with Windows, because Windows is Windows, the cache file when you first define a site is corrupt. So here's what I suggest, and it tends to work for pretty much every time somebody runs into this, and that is rename your website folder and then define it as a new site. So here's how to do that. Okay, so most likely your website, all your files for your website are still within the website folder unless you've renamed it. But we'll just assume that you're using the folder called website, which came in the original package, and you open that up and there's all your files and images and whatnot. Right? I want you to find the website folder, and I want you to copy it and rename it to, well, just for make it easy, we'll call it website 2. Okay, just like that. Great. And then go back to Dreamweaver, and I want you to define a new site. So go to your site, new site, and we'll call this website 2. Okay, and we'll hit the browse button, and then go find where your website folder is in your computer, and then you'll see the website 2 folder there. Click into the website 2 folder, and then make sure it says select website 2 up here and select website 2 down here. If it doesn't, just click into the templates folder and then use the up one level button to go back to where you were, and then it should fix this down here if it said anything other than website 2 or whatever you renamed that folder to. Right? We want to make sure whatever it says up here matches what it says down here. That's the key. We hit the select button, and I've already got something named website 2, so I'm just going to rename that for a second. I'll hit save, and then see that updating site cache, it's creating a new cache file, because when you change it, when you use or define a new website, and especially when you use a new folder name, it will create a new cache file instead of fixing the or adding to the previous one. So that is probably your best bet, because I can't find anything broken with the site, so that means it's probably the cache file on your computer. And probably the best way to do that is just to rename the folder and define that second folder that you've copied and renamed, define that as a brand new website, and then continue on updating your site. And you can probably take your original folder and move it somewhere else, back it up if you want to keep it as a spare, or just delete it.